Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we finally got the first sneak peek for the Thor Love and Thunder movie update. Hallelujah. So, with that being said, we know that the update is slated to land on either the 6th or the 7th of July, depending on whether we're going to get a delayed update by one day like we did last month or not. No idea here. Really, these delayed updates come out of the blue, but we've had a few more recently than usual, so I thought it's worth mentioning. But yes, 1 week or 8 days away, actually less than 1 week, but yeah, roughly, because you guys know how the update lands at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Anywho, and now it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, the update is very, very close, and I'm very, very excited. We have for sure upgrades for Thor and Jane Foster, possibly Sif and Valkyrie, as well as Gore is almost guaranteed to be a new character. I'm worried saying that considering we've only gotten one new character this year, but Gore needs to be here, and then possibly more, possibly Zeus and others. So yeah, I cannot wait to see. I want this update to be really big. That's my sort of my big hope. So yeah, will the God of Thunder be able to reconcile with the hammer made from Uru to be worthy? Thor is stronger and more motivated than ever. Let's check out the sneak peek here. I haven't seen it on the big screen. I've just seen it on my phone when I woke up. Okay, the character model looks really good. Okay. Yeah, it's a good sneak peek. Like, the fidelity of the sneak peek is quite good. It's not necessarily what we're used to. I don't know what I mean when I say what we're used to, but I think you guys know what I mean. But when I say what we're used to, I guess we're not used to such like highly rendered sneak peeks, I guess. But what I'm most interested in is the fact, well, there's two things I'm most interested in. One, the fact that we're going back to, like, we knew he was going back to Stormbreaker, right? Because, and I didn't mention this in my Thor before the update video from yesterday, I think it was yesterday, but he can't use Mjolnir anymore. Or, well, at least in all of the trailers, spoiler alert by the way, Jane Foster uses Mjolnir. That's why the hammer flies away from him, because it goes to Jane Foster. And I'm guessing when we see the sneak peek for Jane Foster, it's gonna fly to her and she's gonna catch it and she's gonna do that stance that she does in the trailer. Very minor spoilers here, guys, but she does a pose. She's a poser like Black Widow. But I really like the fact that they made the hammer broken like it looks in the trailer, and it like glows. It kind of reminds me of Black Panther's purple Wakanda, you know, Black Panther movie uniform. But that should be cool. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they change Thor's skills since he's going back to Mjolnir, since he's going back to Stormbreaker from Mjolnir. Now, to give you guys a little bit more information, if you haven't already caught it, I've played the trailer probably a dozen times here while I stumble through the rest of what I have to say. There's a little hint. There's a pretty big hint. I don't know what this is. This is like a restaurant. It looks like I don't know. It looks like a restaurant advertising or a bakery advertising. But what does it say up there? It says T for you. Yeah, so it's tier 4 upgrade. That's what I'm guessing. Or tier 4 for you. Doesn't really matter. Either way, Thor's getting tier 4. So yeah, we have our confirmation now that Thor's getting tier 4. And what's cool is that when the camera pans back around, you can actually see it again. And it's actually in much clearer clear quality here. If anyone can decipher what that says, I would love to know. But that looks like a coffee or something. And that looks like, oh no, they're pouring coffee into this cup. Oh, fudge me. Okay. So yeah, T4U. So Thor's getting tier 4. That's really cool. Next sneak peek is probably going to be Jane Foster. The actual indication says the actual like writing, and then sometimes there's like clues hidden here. To be worthy, and then will the God of Thunder be able to reconcile with the hammer made from Uru? Yeah, nothing. No other you know, no other information here. No other sneak peeks within the sneak peeks like a Matryoshka doll. The Twitter one is pretty barren as well. Like, there's basically nothing on the Twitter that is worth talking about. But yeah, so we're getting Thor tier 4, which we all sort of knew was going to happen, but I'm glad that we have the confirmation now. But what I'm more interested now in is how they're going to go back, because see, with this uniform, okay, so yeah, we did have we had 2 uniforms where he didn't have 3 uniforms. Yeah, you know what? It looks like most of his uniforms didn't have Mjolnir. He didn't have Mjolnir here. He didn't have Mjolnir or Stormbreaker here. But let me remind myself, like, what were the skill animations like? Again, they haven't seen the movie ahead of time. Just for those of you that are new to this sort of process, they haven't seen the movie ahead of time. So they're basing the attacks and things like that in the animations. This skill has basically never changed, by the way. This skill, and I think the third skill. Yeah. Thor's third skill and first skill have basically not changed since Infinity War, which is like 4 years ago, by the way. So I'm guessing they're not going to change again if I had to guess, but how are the other skills going to look? Yes, these skills like this are really bad because they're super slow to animate. But that's the thing with Mjolnir, you can do like some fast wind-up stuff. I mean, you could do fast wind-up stuff with Stormbreaker, it's just that the devs have to animate that. Yeah, see, like, I mean, Thor looks really cool, don't get me wrong. But these really slow plotting skills are really bad in MFF these days. Like, if they're slow and plotting like this, they have to do berserker damage. This was a really cool skill where he flies into the air and slams down. Like, that was a really cool skill. The only problem with this skill compared to the new Herald Thor is that you can't cancel it, right? I mean, you can cancel it, but you do lose some hits. So letting it play out all the way to the end, you do get more hits. The other interesting thing is, as you can see here, his tier 3 skill was changed. So we're probably going back. We're probably not going to go. We might go back to the old tier 3 skill, actually, now that I say that out loud. But I'm guessing we don't. I'm guessing we don't because this is the new one. It's still very similar, don't get me wrong. But I guess my hopes for this skill are dead. I don't think he's going to be able to do the flying spin with Stormbreaker. I mean, he could. But the 2 skill and the 4th skill seem to be a lot more difficult to do. I mean, he could still do it. I think it would just look really weird. It would clip through the ground, right? If you think of it from like an animation point of view, the Mjolnir is exactly long enough, and you can actually see that the lightning starts to clip through the ground at the end of the skill. Horrible angle, Alex. Horrible angle. But yeah, the lightning starts to... I did it again. The lightning starts to clip through the skill. I promise you. You'll see it. Yeah, there. It starts to clip through the ground. The skill starts to clip through the ground. So that would definitely happen with Stormbreaker. But yeah, this tier 3, it's similar, but it's actually different. And actually, the animation when you turn the SFX on is different. But what's interesting, I just realized that with Thor's old tier 3, the SFX is always on. I didn't have the SFX on just now, and it still showed us that animation of Thor jumping up and slamming down with Stormbreaker. And here we just get this cool eye flash and then the call of lightning. I mean, it could yeah, there's no way, right? It could be exactly the same. I feel kind of dumb for speculating on this kind of stuff, but at the same time, why would that animation be more difficult with Stormbreaker? All you have to do is just animate one of the hands up so that he's I mean, he doesn't even necessarily have to hold Stormbreaker with 2 hands. Does it really look that awkward if he's super strong and buff? He could definitely hold it with 1 hand, right? I don't know. Yeah. So that's really my question, is like how they're going to reintegrate Stormbreaker back into his animations, because we've really run the gamut with Thor. Like, we've had just the hammer, then we had just the axe, then we had swords. Thanks, Taika. Then we went back to the axe, then we went axe and hammer, and now just hammer. I also hope it glows, man. I really like this uniform. Now that I see it more and more, damn. I mean, it's not unfortunate. I really like the way that the new Thor looks, and I really like the gold blue color scheme. But this uniform, man, is like one of the best of all time, and you can see the space in the background, like through his suit. Yeah, man, this is one of the coolest suits ever. And the unfortunate thing is, unlike Iron Man, where you're gonna go back and use Superior Iron Man, there's literally no difference, right? He's not gonna be a villain with this new uniform. Oh, you know what? The only difference is he's probably gonna lose the power Cosmic. Interesting. Okay, that doesn't really mean much right now. I'll be honest with you guys. That doesn't really mean much right now. But if there is a power Cosmic restriction in the future for content, whether it's World Boss Legend or Squad Battle or ABX or whatever, if they add this restriction, then you would have an excuse, even though you have your level 80 or your tier 4 Thor, to go back to this uniform. And that's really what I was getting at, is like with Iron Man, we're lucky because we can enjoy the new uniform. Of course, it looks really cool, looks so classic, but we can go back and check out this more futuristic one, which is also quite cool and looks completely different. So you sort of feel like you're playing two different characters, right? Whereas with Thor, there's basically no difference. But there is now. There's the power cosmic. He shouldn't have the power cosmic when he just goes back to being Odin's son, right? And he doesn't have Galactus's powers infused with his own. So yeah, interesting. Wow, I'm top 100 for Thor still? Nice. I thought I'd lose it after yesterday's video. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of... Oh, finally. And yeah, what do you guys think of Stormbreaker? Do you think it's going to change his skills? I hope we don't get any like really slow animations, but we'll have to see what happens. I want to see some spinning. If he has like a spinning move like Cull Obsidian where he does like a whirlwind, that would be amazing. But we're going to have to wait and see. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Smash the like button, support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.